Can I have guests in my home at any time? Under the law, including the Residential Tenancies Act, tenants in Ontario are permitted to invite or allow guests to stay at their home. However, there may be legal consequences of having guests in your unit. In some cases, it could lead to a notice to end your tenancy. That is why it is important to know your rights and obligations. Your rights. First, it is important to remember that if you have invited or allowed someone into your rental unit or residential complex, you are responsible for their actions. However, your landlord does not have the right to decide who you invite into your home, when you invite them into your home, or how long they stay. If your landlord attempts to control or restrict who you invite into your home, this may be considered as harassment. You are entitled to your right to privacy and are not obligated to inform your landlord anytime a guest stays over or moves in. Your landlord also cannot charge for overnight guests. They do not have the right to charge extra fees or increase your rent because a guest is staying with you. However, do note that if you live in subsidized government housing, there may be exceptions to some of these rights. Guests in your home. While the law does not prevent you from allowing guests to stay at your home temporarily or indefinitely, there may be risks or consequences to doing so. You are ultimately responsible for your guests' actions while they are on premises. For example, if your guest causes damage to the property, the landlord is allowed to hold you responsible. This may result in your eviction and/or your payment of compensation to the landlord to replace or repair the damages. Or, if your guest is causing a disturbance of the reasonable enjoyment of other tenants, long-term guests, or occupants, your landlord may give you a written notice that could lead to your eviction. You, as the tenant, should also be mindful of occupancy limits so as not to have more occupants in your unit than the municipal code allows for. Subletting. In general, tenants in Ontario are allowed to have guests in their home for as long as they would like and as often as they would like. However, there are some different rules to subletting. Subletting is when the original tenant rents the unit to someone else, called a subtenant, for a specific period of time and ending before the end of the lease term. Your name stays on the lease, but a separate legal agreement will be made with the person subletting and the landlord. You cannot sublet without your landlord's permission, as the landlord would be subject to significant liability concerns. If your landlord finds out you have been subletting the property without their permission, they can file to terminate your tenancy and to evict you and your subtenant. It is important to remember that you are responsible to your landlord for the actions of your subtenant during the sublet period. What you can do. Avoid inviting guests who may cause problems. Being mindful of who you invite into your home can help you preserve your tenancy. Also, be sure to check your local bylaws for occupancy limits. For questions about bylaw rules in Waterloo, Kitchener, and Cambridge, you can contact these phone numbers. For more information about your housing rights, visit www.WRCLS.ca. You can also contact Waterloo Region Community Legal Services at www.WRCLS/web-contact or call us at 519-743-0254. Check out our YouTube channel for more videos.